Well, hey guys, thanks for joining me. Today we are on Lake Norman, put in at the Beatties Ford access area. Gonna try to catch some early winter time bass. It is pretty cold. Like, it woke up, it was below freezing today, but I still have confidence. I think we can put a few in the boat. That's enough of me talking. Let's get to it.
I can tell you what that means. River rats and cool stew. Baby, that's what I'm cooking you. River rats and cool stew. Baby, that's what I'm cooking you.
Alright guys, first little fish of the day. Wasn't doing anything major. I just had a crankbait that was sitting out like on the side of the boat, trolling until I got to my first spot. But look at him. Alright. Look at that little guy. Yeah, as I was saying, I just had a crankbait off to the side of the boat as I was trying to go to my first spot. He is out in the middle of nowhere. Let's get him back in the water. Spot. Look at him. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. That's a nice fish there. Look at him. Whoa, Nelly. Oh man, the camera's all fogged up. Yeah, ain't a bad fish there. Man, it is cold and windy though. Let's get him back in the water. And now it's time for tackle roundup. All right guys, what I caught that fish on was this. Look familiar? It's been a long time since I've used these. I don't know why I haven't. This is a 1/3 ounce Ozark Trail Squarebill crankbait. Now, Ozark Trail, you're not hearing that incorrectly. Ozark Trail is the Walmart brand crankbait, and that's what I'm using. $2 lure. It's bitter cold, $2 lure, still catching fish on that. So don't let anybody ever tell you that like cheap, you got to buy all this cheap gear in order to catch fish. It's just not the case. This lure is literally two bucks. Get it at Walmart. It's kind of a, I haven't really used this coloration before. Ouch. I haven't really used this coloration before, but it's kind of like a translucent. I usually use just like a standard white, but this was kind of like translucent. The water is really clear, so I figured that would entice a couple bites, but that's what we're using. So yeah, catching them on crankbait, which is nice. I love running a crankbait. So yeah, let me get back to it with my 1/3 ounce Ozark Trail crankbait. And that concludes today's tackle roundup. Look at that fella. That's a nice little fish there. Look at that guy. Heck yeah. Look at him. I like that coloration. Look at that. I don't know if you see that. I like that coloration like on his back like that. Look at that. All right, guys. Have a good time. Anytime I can catch fish on a crankbait is a good day for me. I love fishing a crankbait. Yeah. And don't let anybody ever tell you that, you know, when it's cold outside that you can't catch fish, because it's about 32 degrees air temperature. Well, we're still catching fish, man, which is awesome. Let's get him back in the water. All right, just another little guy. Look at him. All right, I was on my way to another spot and just had a crankbait off to the side. Caught him out in the middle of nowhere. Let's get him back in the water. Catfish with it. All right. All right, he ain't long, but man, that's a fat one. That's a fat guy. Look at him. Heck yeah. Well, I don't know if it'll come out, but as I was fighting him, I could see something that was, I was like, something is chasing it. And you know how sometimes you'll catch one fish and there'll be another schooling that's chasing them around. Well, it wasn't another spot. It was a giant catfish. I mean, I don't know if he was interested in the bait, you know, like my lure, or if he was interested in trying to eat this thing. But I mean, it was a pretty big catfish. Hopefully that came out. If not, you just have to take my word for it that there was a giant catfish chasing this thing around. But that's fun, man. Let's get him back in the water. All right, not a big one, but again, nice little fish here, man. Look at him. Look at that little fella. It's kind of wild. I know where they are. I'm not real familiar with this particular launch, but I know where they are, and I'm able to like identify like on the map where they're going to be. The weird part is they're kind of offshore and they're on these points with like a deep drop off. I'll kind of show you what that looks like. But the thing is that as I troll from spot to spot, and as I'm getting to it, I'll run across these little roamers, and I never even see them on the graph. So I don't know what's going on. But yeah, we'll see if we can put a couple more in the boat, because I'm coming up on an area where it looks promising. But let's get him back in the water. Well, guys, I think I'm gonna call it a day. Had a good little day out here. Caught them cranking, which is awesome. It's one of my favorite techniques to do. Air temp's really cold, but water temp's still really good. So catch them while you can. I think we might finally be out of that weird fall transition that we've been having with the you know, we've had we're in like drought conditions where the water's really low and the temperature's been unseasonably warm. So I think it had a lot of people kind of in a funk, me particularly. So no, it seems to be going back. The water's still really low, but we seem to be going back and at least doing stuff that is more typical of this time of year, which is nice. Anyways, I'm gonna head back to the house. If you'd like to know anything about what I did today, the lures, the launch, or anything else, you can look down in the description box. I'm going to leave some additional information down there. Well, while you're there, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. The channel's updated every week with new fishing content and new fishing adventures. So I'll be seeing you next week. This is Josh, and this is Abide Fishing.